Hi students, welcome back to All4's e-learning chemistry classes. Today we are going to start session 12 and the concept is stoichiometric calculations. Actually, yesterday we have started this and we have discussed some numericals. Today also I am going to discuss some numericals based on the same concept. Please note it down. 1.44 grams of titanium, titanium. He has given the atomic weight also. Write down students, 48. Reacted with excess of oxygen. Reacted with excess of oxygen, and produced X grams of non-stoichiometric compound formula also has given Ti 1.44O. What is the value of X? That's what he has asked you to calculate. Here this is normal data except this particular concept, non-stoichiometric compound. Stoichiometric compound, non-stoichiometric compound. Coming to stoichiometric compound, follows simple empirical formula calculation where the number of atoms of different elements possess a simple whole number ratio. That is called stoichiometric compound. If that ratio is not followed, a simple whole number ratio, then you can simply call that as non-stoichiometric compound. Okay. Now this is the non-stoichiometric compound. You have to find out how much mass that is given as X grams. So you should find out the value of X formed from 1.44 grams of titanium. According to this formula, I am going to write, see, what is the atomic mass of titanium? 48. Okay, right. So 1.44 into 48 grams of titanium combines with 16 grams of oxygen. That we can write. But this time only he has given as 1.44 grams of titanium only. So how much oxygen is going to be utilized for the reaction? That is 1.44 divided by 1.44 into 48 into 16. That is 16 by 48, that is 1 by 3, that is 0.333 grams. You can write simply 0.33 grams. How much is involving for titanium? 1.44. Combines with how much amount of oxygen? Now we got as 0.33. So X grams is the mass of non-stoichiometric compound. So your answer is 1.44 plus 0.33, that is 1.77. This question can be set as a model called numerical value based questions, which have been recently introduced in the recent year mains examination conducted in 2020 January. So the answer is either simple whole number integer or a fraction. Numerical value based questions newly introduced by JEE mains examination, the recent year, present year only itself, the 2020 January. Please note it down, students. Okay, students, let us go for the next numerical. Write down along with me. How many moles of calcium sulfate CaSO4 will be formed on reaction of, write down, on reaction of 0.5 mole sulfuric acid and 0.2 mole calcium hydroxide. That is the question. Now, we need a balanced chemical equation to solve this question. This is a simple acid base reaction that we can write the basic knowledge what we have. Acid and base always react together to form corresponding salt and water. So, I am writing that reaction. H2SO4, see I am going to write here, H2SO4 plus calcium hydroxide, you will get calcium sulfate salt, 2OH, 2H, so total you will get 2 moles of water. This is the balanced chemical reaction. So, from this I can simply write like this, students. 1 mole of sulfuric acid on neutralization or reaction with 1 mole calcium hydroxide, exactly you will get 1 mole of calcium sulfate salt. Okay. That is the data that we can write based on the stoichiometric, means balanced chemical equation. Now, this time he has given 0. Given, I am writing here, students, given 0.5 mole and this is 0.2 mole. See, 1 mole can combine only with 1 mole. So, 0.5 mole of sulfuric acid needs no doubt 0.5 mole of calcium hydroxide, but 0.5 mole of calcium hydroxide is not given, only 0.2 mole of calcium hydroxide is given. So, from this stoichiometric equation we can say, we can write like this, 0.2 mole of calcium hydroxide reacts with 0.2 mole of sulfuric acid only and going to form 0.2 mole of calcium sulfate, because you are not supposed to disturb the mole ratio of any stoichiometric balanced chemical equation, that is 1:1:1 up to here. So, if you want to write H2O, you can write also 1:2. Okay, no need for us now, as of now. So, 0.2 moles combines with 0.2 moles and forms 0.2 mole of calcium sulfate, because mole ratio is same 1:1:1. But out of 0.5 he has given for sulfuric acid, remaining is 0.3 mole. It means 0.3 mole of sulfuric acid is left unreacted and left after the completion of reaction, because this is not going to involved in the reaction, and 0.2 mole of this is completely consumed. Here I am writing this is completely consumed. I am writing, please note down, students, completely consumed. This is left unreacted. Left unreacted. So this calcium hydroxide, now you can call this as limiting reagent. I am introducing a new concept, students, very important. This is the reactant which is going to be completely consumed in the reaction, is called as limiting reagent that should be completely consumed in the reaction, and the left unreacted even after the reaction, that is automatically called as excess reagent. Excess reagent. Now down students, very important concept we are entering. This plays major role for solving many numericals in the coming days. Right. Reactant which is completely consumed in the reaction should be called as limiting reagent, and which is left unreacted is called as excess reagent. Excess reagent. You please note it down. And one more question also can be set on the same data. This is the question that you have to calculate how many moles of calcium sulfate will be formed. Even in the question, they may ask like this: how many moles of sulfuric acid will be left unreacted? Will be left unreacted. So your answer in such case is 0.3 moles. Excess reagent only will be left unreacted. Limiting reagent will be completely consumed. So based on the data, we can also estimate the amount of product obtained. Based on the same data, we can also predict how much of excess reactant will be left after a reaction. Both the things we can calculate based on the same data. So please write down this, students. Very important it is. Please note it down carefully. Also, out of these two, calcium hydroxide is limiting reagent and sulfuric acid is excess reagent. Excess reagent. Please note it down. Please note it down. Okay, students. Now, once again I am repeating this. 1 mole gives 1 mole, 1 mole. Right. The given moles are 0.5 moles. Here 0.2 moles. Just now I have discussed all these things. Out of this, 0.2 will be consumed here, 0.2 will be consumed here, and the produced moles is 0.2 moles. Please note it down, students. The amount of products depend only on the amount of limiting reagent. I am repeating, students, note it down, very important. The amount of product always depend on the amount of limiting reagent, but not excess reagent. It means once if you are able to decide which is the limiting reagent among the given reactants, then immediately we can say, based on that limiting reagent, we can predict the amount of product obtained immediately. That is what I want to explain you. Here I have decided calcium hydroxide as limiting reagent. See, I am writing how I am going to decide the amount of product based on the amount of limiting reagent. Please concentrate. Simply I can write from the stoichiometry: 1 mole calcium hydroxide produce 1 mole calcium sulfate. So this time you are given with only 0.2 mole of calcium hydroxide. How much? Your answer will be 0.2. We are not supposed to bother about excess reagent. So for this type of numericals, first of all we have to fix which is the limiting reagent, and immediately after the fixation of limiting reagent, immediately you can assess the amount of product based on the amount of that limiting reagent what you are going to decide. So to solve this type of numericals, one should find out which is the limiting reagent among the given reactants, and based on that immediately within less interval of time you can answer the question. Okay, students? Okay, students? Let us go for next numerical. Write down along with me. 1 mole, write down, 1 mole each of calcium hydroxide and phosphoric acid H3PO4, phosphoric acid, are allowed to react under dilute conditions, What is the maximum number of moles of phosphoric acid H3PO calcium phosphate Ca3PO4 twice? What is the maximum number of moles of calcium phosphate obtained? So he has given the product also indirectly as calcium phosphate. So first of all, we need the balanced chemical equation. No need to remember all the equations. Simply based on the given reactants and products, so we can write the chemical equation, no problem. This is also simple acid base reaction. And he has mentioned especially under dilute conditions. In the previous question, he did not mention that under dilute conditions. There is a small difference between the previous question and this one. In the previous question, he has used sulfuric acid, which is a strong acid, and in this particular question he has used weak acid. That's why he has mentioned under dilute conditions. So at the dilute conditions, it will undergo 100% ionization. For that purpose, he has mentioned this under dilute conditions. Okay, that will be discussed in the ionic equilibrium chapter, not here. So as per normal stoichiometry concept, we can calculate this. Write down, students. I am writing. Phosphoric acid H3PO4, calcium hydroxide, all the chemicals formula also he has given, no problem, and no doubt we will get water also along with that, acid, base, salt and water. 3 calciums, 2 phosphorus, close. So 2 into 3 6 hydrogens, so 3 into 2 6 OH, so you will get 6 H2O. Now based on stoichiometric balanced chemical equation, I can write 2 moles combines with 3 moles and forms only 1 mole. Okay, students. Now let me write the given moles first of all. Given moles are 1 mole each. Students, you please concentrate. First, I am going to explain the logical approach to decide which is limiting reagent. After finishing of that, then I will give one technique which is useful to decide the limiting reagent very easily. First of all, let me discuss the logical approach, then I will go for that technique. Now, logical approach. Okay, I will do. Here, the mole ratio I am writing on the arrow 2:3:1. Forget about that water, leave it. No need of. That should not be disturbed at any cost, because that is balanced chemical equation. One should not supposed to disturb it. Okay. Here given moles are 1 mole, 1 mole. So 2 moles are ratio is 2:3. I want to adjust this into 2:3 ratio. Let me check what will happen. A trial I am doing, students. 2 into 0.5. 1 mole I make it as 2 into 0.5. I did not change any given value, given condition I did not change. I just made it an adjustment. If it is 2, this is should be 3, 2 is to 3. Here requirement is 3 into 0.5. 3 into 0.5 means how much, students? 1.5. Is it there? Is it there? No, no. So this type of approach is not possible. The type of approach is not possible. So you are not supposed to go like this. Okay, students? Now, see what I will do. I will start with this. Let us check. I am going to make it as 3 parts. 3 into 1 by 3. Mole ratio is 2 is to 3. So here it should be 2 into 1 by 3. Because mole ratio should not be disturbed. 2 is to 3 only. 2 by 3 means how much, students? Approximately 0.67. Yes, he has given 1 mole. But requirement here is only 0.67. 0.67. So now you can proceed like this. What is the mole ratio, students? 2 is to 3 is to 1. 2 into 1 by 3 combines with 3 into 1 by 3, 1. So your answer is over 1 by 3 mole. This is how to answer based on a logical approach. So how much excess out of 1 mole? 2 by 3 mole is reacted. So 1 by 3 left unreacted. So this is LR means limiting reagent completely consumed in the reaction, all 1 mole, and this is set as excess reagent. I have already told you the amount of product always depend on amount of limiting reagent. Here I have decided calcium hydroxide as limiting reagent. So I will explain that calculation also, students. I have already decided limiting reagent as calcium hydroxide. Here I am writing, students, you please concentrate. Based on the stoichiometry, 3 mole calcium hydroxide gives 1 mole calcium phosphate. Write down, students, 1 mole calcium phosphate. But this time he has given only 1 mole. So what is our answer? 1 by 3. So once if you are able to decide limiting reagent, immediately you can go as per that or simply as per the logical approach. Logical approach. Please note down. I will repeat once again the explanation. Concentrate. These are the moles ratio. 2 moles should combine only with 3 moles and forms only 1 mole. That you are not supposed to change at any cost. That is fixed. Now, in this particular question, he has given both the things as 1 mole and 1 mole only. 1 mole and 1 mole only. But if you start with this, if you made this as 2 into 0.5, mole ratio is 2 is to 3 for this. So need of calcium hydroxide will be 1.5, which is not there. That's why I did not go like this. Now I have taken this given data. 3 moles are there in the reaction, so I made it as 3 parts. 3 into 1 by 3. Then ratio is 2 is to 3. So here requirement is 2 into 1 by 3. So if it is there or not, yes, it is 1 mole. After all, 2 by 3 is needed. Still 1 by 3 left unreacted. So this is excess reagent. This is limiting reagent. 2 is to 3 is to 1. 2 into 1 by 3, 3 into 1 by 3, 1 by 3. So ratio does not change. Please note down this, students. Then for the same question, I have already told you I am going to give you a technique. The moment you see the question, based on the technique you can fix limiting reagent, then you can easily calculate. Okay, students, you please note it down. Okay, students, I am discussing the same question with that technique. Please concentrate. Okay, this is the question. As per stoichiometry, you can write 3 mole, 3 mole, 1 mole. Now, I am going to give the technique. So, no need of using logical approach, but According to me, it is better always used to logical approach, but technique is also very easy. You can decide, no problem. Now I am writing given moles. 1 mole, 1 mole. The technique is, first of all, take the ratio given moles by moles in equation. Moles in equation. Write down, students. Clearly, please write down. Given moles divided by moles in the equation. It means balanced chemical equation. Okay, I am doing that. 1 by 2, 1 by 3. 1 by 2, 1 by 3. The reagent which has least value, write down, students, the reagent, I am repeating, the reagent which has least value is limiting reagent. Least value is limiting reagent. So this is the way that you can find out the limiting reagent directly by dividing with given moles, by dividing given moles with moles in the equation. Moles in the equation. So the least value, for which reagent you are going to get least value, you should select that as limiting reagent. Once you fix the limiting reagent, remaining thing is very easy, because amount of product always depend only on amount of limiting reagent. I will do this. 3 mole of calcium hydroxide produce 1 mole calcium phosphate. I have written here, and 1 mole only he has given. So our answer is 1 by 3. Directly you can give the answer. So in this way you can fix the limiting reagent, and immediately you can find out the amount of product obtained based on that particular limiting reagent. Okay, students, let me go for the next numerical. Concentrate. How many grams of ammonia? How many grams of ammonia will be formed? Will be formed. Write down, students. Will be formed by the combination of. Will be formed by the combination of 3 grams of hydrogen and hydrogen, this is 3 grams of hydrogen and 7 grams of nitrogen. 7 grams of nitrogen. Now, how to write the reaction for the formation of ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen. So I am writing the equation here. Nitrogen plus hydrogen combined to form ammonia. This is the balanced chemical equation. Okay. Now I am writing moles. 1 mole of nitrogen combines always with 3 moles of hydrogen only to form 2 moles of ammonia. This I can write based on the balanced chemical equation. Now he has given weights. Convert these weights into moles. Okay. What is the molar mass of hydrogen? 2. 3 by 2. So hydrogen is 1.5 mole given, because molar mass of hydrogen is 2 grams. We know molar mass of nitrogen is 28. 2 into 14 atomic mass, 28. So 7 by 28. It means 1 by 4 mole. Now try to fix the limiting reagent with the technique what I have given just now in the previous question. Okay. Now, okay, 1 by 4 by 1. Here 1.5 by 3. 1.5 by 3. 1.5 means 3 by 1.5 divided by 3. 1 by 4 divided by 1 because 1 mole. 1.5 divided by 3. So, which is more? Which is more? This is 0.25. 1.5 by 3. This is 0.5. 5 3s are 15. So, 0.5. Which is having least value. So, nitrogen is having least value. Least value. So, this you should consider this as limiting reagent. Limiting reagent. And this you have to fix this as excess reagent. I have already told you the amount of product always depend on the amount of limiting reagent. So, from the data I can write from the stoichiometric equation. Here I am writing, students, 1 mole of nitrogen can give 2 mole of ammonia, no doubt. But this time how many moles of ammonia are there? 1.4 moles nitrogen. So, 1.4 into 2, that is 1 by 2 mole ammonia. What is molar mass of ammonia, students? 17. Nitrogen 14, 3 into 1 for hydrogen 17. So, convert this into weight. 1 by 2 into 17 is the molar mass. So, this is 8.5 grams. So, this is the mass of ammonia that you will get in this question. What I did? First I have fixed the limiting reagent by dividing given moles with stoichiometric moles. So, this I have fixed as limiting reagent, and then normal procedure. 1 mole nitrogen gives 2 moles ammonia, 1 by 4 moles gives 1 by 4 into 2 half mole ammonia, and then ammonia molar mass 17, I have converted mole into mass 1 by 2 into 17, that is 8.5 grams. Please note it down, students. Okay, students, let me go for the next numerical. You please write down along with me. Write down. Equal weights of zinc and iodine. Zinc, I am writing the elements. Zinc and iodine are mixed together and iodine is completely converted into zinc iodide ZnI2. Write down, students. What fraction of original zinc remains unreacted? What fraction of original zinc remains unreacted? Equal weights of zinc and iodine are mixed together and iodine is completely converted into zinc iodide. What fraction of original zinc remains unreacted? It means indirectly he is saying iodine is limiting reagent in this particular reaction. First of all, let me write the reaction. Zinc plus iodine, zinc iodide. This is the reaction, simple. 1 mole gives 1 mole. He is giving equal weights and he is saying iodine is completely converted. So, atomic mass of iodine is 127. So, 127 into 2, 254 grams. Iodine I will take Same amount of zinc also I will take. So because he has given equal weights. Right? Let me check what will happen. 1 mole reacts with only with 1 mole. What is the 1 mole mass? Zinc atomic mass, simply you can take it as 65.4. Okay, you take it as simple, for simple calculations I am going to take it as 65, no problem. So 1 mole reacts only with 1 mole, and he is saying iodine is completely converted. It means iodine is completely consumed limiting reagent. So 1 mole combines only with 1 mole. 254 grams should combines only with 65 grams. 65 grams. And forms 1 mole. 1 mole here, calculate 65 plus 254, 9. So 319 grams of zinc iodide will be formed. That is not the question asked us to calculate. He is asking what fraction of original zinc remains unreacted. Here I have taken zinc and iodine both as equal, that is 254 grams. So out of 254, how much is left? 254 minus 65, 9, 189 grams is left. This percentage fraction he is asking. So 189 out of 254, that fraction he is asking. This fraction you are going to get it as 0.74. That is the answer. So while observing this solution, you may get one doubt. Sir, you have taken 254, 254. You can take 100, 100. You can take 65, 65. You can take 200, 200. You can take 1 gram, 1 gram. But ratio will never change. But for the sake of simple calculation approach, I have taken it as 254, 254 in the equal amounts. You please, after observing this particular video, you sit with a notebook and you can check whether with 65 or 1, 1 or 100, 100, the same thing, the same fraction you will get. So no doubt at all. You please note it down, students. Then I will go for next question. Write down, students, please. How many, write down, how many moles of P4 phosphorus, molecular phosphorus can be, write down, can be produced by the reaction of, I am writing the data, please write down, students. 0.1 mole calcium fluorophosphate, this is compound. 0.1 mole Ca3PO4 twice F2, write down, students. 0.36 mole silica SiO2 and 0.9 mole coke. According to ACC, I am writing, according to, he has given the balanced chemical equation. Please note it down. 4CaF5PO4 thrice F2 plus 18 SiO2 plus 30 coke gives rise to 3P4 plus 2CaF2, write down, students. 18 CaSiO3 plus 30 CO2. This is the question given. Balanced equation also he has given, and this time you are having three reactants, and he has given the data of all the three reactants here. Let me write the balanced chemical equation data. 4 mole combined with 18 mole and 30 mole to get 3 mole of phosphorus. Remaining thing no need for us. He has given only for phosphorus he is asking. Okay. Now let me check which is the limiting reagent. Let me write the given moles. 0.1, 0.36 and 0.9. Let me divide with respect to 0.36. Write down, students. 0.9 by 30. This is 0.025 and this is 0.02 and this is 0.03. Which is least? This one is least. So this is limiting reagent. Yes. Now I got the limiting reagent. I can simply calculate. Okay. Write down. 18 mole SiO2 gives 3 mole P4. 18 mole silica gives 3 mole. But this time silica has given us 0.36 mole. What is our answer? 0.36 by 18 into 3. So your answer is 0.06 mole. That is the answer. First, I have fixed the limiting reagent, and then based on that limiting reagent, I was able to calculate the amount of product, the moles of product obtained in the process. Okay, students, please note it down. Important model. Okay, students, let me go for the next numerical. Write down. Very, very important modalities. Write down. An amount of, write down, students, 5 mole A, comma 6 mole B and excess of C are mixed to produce a final product D. Write down, students, very, very important model. A final product D according to two equations he has given. A plus 2B gives rise to I and I plus C gives rise to again B plus D. A plus 2B gives rise to I and I plus C gives rise to B plus D. What is maximum moles of D that can be produced, write down, the students, what is maximum moles of D that can be produced, assuming that products, write down, very, very important, assuming that products formed can also be reused, in the reactions. Assuming that products formed can also be reused in the reactions. Once again I am repeating the question, students. 5 mole A, 6 mole B and excess of C are mixed to produce a final product D according to two equations, one after another, two reactions. First, A plus 2B gives rise to I and I plus C gives rise to B plus D. Now what he is asking, the maximum moles of D that can be produced assuming that products formed can also be reused in the reactions. Let me write down the reactions first of all separately. A plus 2B gives rise to I, and I plus C gives rise to B plus D. Concentrate, students, very important modalities. Okay, first of all let me write given moles of A and B. So stoichiometric I am going to write, so don't get confused, I am going to write given moles only. Stoichiometric moles in front of you, 1 mole combines with 2 moles, no problem. So given moles 5 mole, 6 mole I am writing. Okay, given moles. Okay, 2:1 molar ratio. So you can take it as 2 into 3 moles. Then what is the requirement here? 1:2. So here 3 mole is involved in the first reaction. First stage I am writing. Concentrate. How many moles will be left? Again 2 moles of A will be left, because here B is completely consumed, A is present in excess. How much excess? That is left is 2 moles. Leave it. Now 1 mole combines with 2 mole, 3 mole, 2 into 3, here you will get 3 mole of I. 3 mole of I. Okay. Now how many moles of I you will get here in the reaction? First step 3 mole. So here 1 mole gives 1 mole of B and 1 mole of D. C is excess. Oh, many excess of C is there, no need of bother about that. 1 mole gives 1 mole, 1 mole. So in the first stage 3 mole gives B 3 mole, D also 3 mole. Again you got B as 3 mole, B has 3 mole. Now bring that 3 mole, I am giving the arrow here, students, concentrate. Bring that 3 mole here, because he has mentioned assuming that products formed can also be reused. Here 3 moles of B is formed, again it should be reused. Now I am going for second step, students. Again take the same approach, students. Make 3 as 2 parts. 2 into 1.5 mole. Here requirement is 1.5 mole. Here left will be 0.5 mole. Here 1.5. Wait, 1.5. 2 into 1.5. Here you will get 1.5 mole I. Again you have to go for second reaction. Here I am writing 1.5 mole gives 1.5 mole of B, 1.5 mole of D. Again B is forming, again A is left. So both can react again. So take this 1.5 mole, because he is using reused. So take this 1.5 here. I am writing here 1.5. So make it as 3 parts, 3 into 0.5. Here 2 into 0.5. No, it is not there. So now you have to fix A as limiting reagent. A is completely consumed. So B required is 2 into 0.5 mole. Here production of A is 0.5 mole, students. Again you got 0.4 mole of I. Again you have to go for next reaction, that is 0.5 mole gives rise to 0.5 mole of this and 0.5 mole of this. So again B has 0.5 mole. So you will get B again 0.5 mole. But all the A is completely consumed. There is no A there. So finally the amount of product of D obtained in the process 3 plus 1.5 and 0.5. Our answer should be reported as 5, an integer type for advanced level question. See, looping, it is looping, because he is reusing the product formed again and again. I will repeat the explanations. Concentrate now. He has given 5 mole and 6 mole. I take it as 2 into 3. 1:2 is the ratio, right? 1 is to 2 is to 1. Okay, that one. Okay. 2 into 3. Here requirement is 3. So out of 3, left is 2 mole. 3 mole, 2 into 3, 1 is to 2 is to 1. So I obtained as 3 mole. Okay. 3 mole, 1 mole gives 1 mole, 1 mole, 3 mole gives 3 mole, 3 mole. Again B is formed which can be reused. So I got that 3 mole here. I got that, see, I will go like this. I got that 3 mole here. Okay, students, right? I made it as again 2 parts. 2 into 1.5 needs 1.5. Yes, 2 mole is there, no problem. So 0.5 mole is left. Here 1.5 reacts with 2 into 1.5 form 1.5 because 1 is to 2 is to 1 is the mole ratio. Again I have to go for this. 1 mole gives 1 mole, 1 mole. 1.5 gives 1.5, 1.5. Again I got B. So again this B can involved in the reaction. And this time he has given only 0.5 mole. If you made it as 3, 2.5s are not there. So that's why in the third step, the limiting reagent is A because A is only 0.5 mole. So to completely reaction, it needs 1 is to 2, 2 into 0.5 out of 1.5, 1 mole of B is reacted. So 0.5, 2 into 1.5, 0.5 because 1 is to 2 is to 1. So 0.5 mole of A. I again coming in the third stage of reaction, again it will go for third step. 1 mole gives 1 mole, 1 mole, 0.5 gives 0.5, 0.5. So finally you will be left with 5 moles of D as product. Let us frame one more question. Which reactant is completely consumed here? A. So among these 3, A, B, C, A is limiting reagent. So B is also excess. C also excess, he has given the question itself. B is also excess. Why B is also excess? Here out of 1.5, only 1 is consumed here. 0.5 will be left here. Yes, 0.5 will be left here. Automatically one more 0.5 of B is also formed there. So 0.5, 0.5. So finally 1 mole of B is in the excess reagent. And finally D is formed as 5 moles. This is the beauty of the question. Okay, students, I am going to conclude this session with this question. Please concentrate. Beautiful question it is. And in the next session, I will continue with the next type of stoichiometric calculations. Okay, thank you.